Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel for today's video. I wanted to talk to you about having balance in your life, not giving up, boundaries. They're there for a reason, and loving yourself. So let's jump in. So after narcissism, or anybody for that matter, just somebody who represents truth and justice, somebody who has passion. The problem today is we grow up in a society, and the society hands us books, and it likes to tell us what to do, what is right, what is wrong, what is appropriate, and what is not. A lot of times, though, it's not all true. And with the wrong mind or heart behind it, with the wrong passion, and they talk about privilege. And that could be anybody, okay? In my book, I've seen it everywhere with everybody. Broad statement about privilege is to say that you are entitled, that you are preferred without humility. Now, sometimes you can be preferred because you are, a matter of fact, a better quality, but you put the work in. A lot of times people that want privilege or expect privilege, they do it with a pompous behavior, a behavior that is arrogant and self-righteous, one that is fixed and it's like concrete, and it's their way or the highway. The problem with them is they don't ever listen to any constructive criticism. So that concrete brain of theirs, that is 3D only, it doesn't have a chance to advance. But nor does it make any changes, even laterally, to try to affect good change in their life for righteousness. They are fixed in a place where everything they do is right. And if it's wrong, it's everybody else's fault out here. But there's never a time where they're going to introspect. They're never going to go inside. They're never going to ask themselves, did I do the right thing? They never question themselves. They never inquire through good counsel. What you find around these individuals are going to be people pleasers, toxic enablers, cohorts, corrupt individuals, individuals that are out for their own good. But in being around these entitled, privileged individuals, even though they're out for their own good as a flying monkey, they still have something to gain by being a cohort of this individual. Because they're the lesser of the bunch, or they're the equal of the bunch, or they give a service that individual will need, and they'll do it in a crooked way, maybe for a fee, for a bribe, for extortion. These are the type of individuals that come in a pack of wolves. When you find one, you find 10. And sometimes people or individuals in many can make a just individual. Someone would be known as a sheep, right? Someone who's trying to be harmless, peaceful, temperate, calm, collective, and just want to live in this supposed republic for which we stand, this place of freedom for all humanity equally, and to live as proof of doing the right thing. Well, these individuals will gang up on you, stalk you, gather around, and sabotage every foundation of your life until you are crippled, smearing and assassinating your character, defame your character, defame the character of the people that you befriend, and try to even get private investigators to investigate and search through your whole background, your whole history, to find any little crevice of something you might have done wrong, so they can blame you for it and pump it up and make that the whole central argument, some petty thing maybe. Meanwhile, they could be individuals part of an organization that unalive people, that rob people, that thieve, that pathologically lie and cheat and spread infections and diseases. through intercourse, break up families, seduce people, and then blackmail them, extort them, bully them, get aligned with people in power and corrupt them, or find corrupt individuals in power and align with them. So they could devise plans to get life insurance policies, PPP loans, to impersonate individuals, getting new IDs, birth certificates, death certificates. They can take people out and they can show up at court, and the individual that has been unalive, that's not there anymore, will be looked at as the unjust case, and they will win and go on mocking people and doing this again and again, over and over. And if it wasn't for the few in the system that still stand up for some sort of righteousness, and it's hard these days because there's not many individuals that want to do the right thing. But I couldn't imagine why somebody would want to get a bag of money and test the ability of their sovereignty, their true sovereignty, their free will. No matter what you think, we still live in a great country, and it has its problems and its issues, but we cannot allow for these things to continue to occur and have the blind eye. It only leads to more corruption. It leads to more bullying, more abuse, violence. We're talking about people that were once here that are not here anymore, and they have been removed by unjust circumstances and not exonerated. They had to go through the penalty and the torture of maybe losing their life when it was not the time expected for them. They could have been very young, and it could have been very gruesome. And their loved ones may not know where they are or what happened. Just like when you're dealing with the narcissist, they are in constant rumination of where they are, or will they find anything out? Will they get any information? Not knowing that somebody may have gotten a life insurance policy out on the individual or something stupid like that, because this is how sinister a narcissist will be. And they live in a place where they believe they do is okay, especially if they get away with it, or if they do it with a conglomerate of power. A lot of narcissists like to go to conglomerates, organizations, because they can gang stalk that way. They can convince juries and judges, righteous ones sometimes, that because there's so many supposed witnesses or people defaming your character, that it will work and it will look real. But we cannot allow this any longer. We have to be assertive with this stuff, and the Lord will lead the way. Truth always shines through like the sun, through all of the darkness, and it will take care of itself. You just have to stand up and armor up, y'all. God will protect you. A lot of people may think that you're crazy sometimes because of the way that you think, that you're far out. Maybe you just know a little bit more than them. Maybe you know a little bit more than you should. You have the ability to take things to a whole nother level because you put the work in and you've pondered a lot of things and you've went beyond the veil. You have not just looked at what society has shown you and told you, and the books they've handed all of us in repetition in schools and colleges and organizations to feed us what we're supposed to be told is true. But that's not where you get all the answers. And most individuals don't ever think anything spiritual or metaphysical, especially people that come from this type of conglomerate. They just don't have the ability to, or the component to tap in to the spirit realm. So they're going to look at you funny. And of course, they're fixed, so they can't think anything outside what they think, and they know they are right. When probably everything they do think is evil and wrong. Disheartened, doesn't have any passion, love, or correctness. And they don't care because they're in the 3D, and all they care about is money, things of lust, never of love, things to get their mind off themselves because they're so evil and spiritually poor or inept. But for you to tap into the spiritual component of what life really is, you have to defeat the matrix, to see beyond the veil of the matrix, to poke a hole through the fabric of the matrix. That is this facade, or to separate. That is this reality of the fake versus reality, real. And the real of what is true, not just what we're told is true, or what somebody has explained has really happened when it hasn't. Sometimes you have to follow the energy of an individual because the energy will show you the action behind it. Or if they're cloaking in somebody else's energy, you will be able to see through that. But you have to be keen, intuitive. Intuition is one way that the Lord speaks to us so that we can understand what is right down at the heart of the matter. But that facade, the fake versus the reality, and to piece together reality with the understanding of the spiritual, and to find your place in this, to remove the fake, the lies, remove the garbage and the fog. Some of us have a desire to know more, what is to understand the etherical realm, the spiritual realm. The truth, its physics, the framework. Ask yourself, what is behind the matrix? What is behind the matrix? What is the matrix? The matrix is everything built. The systems, the mindsets, the care plans of this world system, and what they have built over top of our history and told us this is the facts. And then had a hierarchy of what is right and what is truth and what is justice and what is evil, what is fake and what is not. But those scales are not even, they're not balanced. To truly balance them out, you have to dig in for yourself. And you will find that most of what you've been taught has been enough of a lie that it might change the whole narrative, the way you see things. Ask yourself what lies behind the matrix? What holds up the lies? This world's lies. Why? And then how? Ponder and process life versus lies, right? Life is to live. Lies is destruction, to destroy, and to choose your service. Which side are you on? Because life is expansion. But when you get into lies, lies are the facade, and to not care, to walk in this entitlement, this privilege, not even search out truth when you know there are lies in situations, as long as through greed and jealousy, power and control, you're a tyrant, a bully. Don't care as long as something financial, some kind of gain. Things like that are what caused the world we live in today to be like it is, collapsing, to implode on itself. We're not any different than an untamed animal. And that's what we become, like a beast of the field with no love. Morals are based and values are based on just what you can get away with. That's not righteous. I would rather live in truth and life and abundance and to expand and to be able to give something to somebody instead of always taking. Lies are the facade. Do you want to have lived and then die knowing you lived a lie? Your whole image was built on a lie just to have a facade of your own so that you could receive something financially to gain. But at the end of the day, you're a hoax, you're a lie. And people hurt when individuals choose to go that path because there's no justice in it. And you become an object in this matrix. And that's why the narcissists look at us like we are objects, because truly that's what they have become. When you have no love, no passion, when your whole image and your whole life and your lifestyle, when your mind and your heart are only focused on gaining things from this 3D world, this 3D realm, and you don't care about truth, and you don't have the true values aligned, there's nothing really to live for. And that's why they go through a lot of bouts of depression, anxiety, paranoia, because of the lifestyle they choose to live. But again, it'll be blamed on you. But could you imagine living that way and never living the truth? Any truth? That everything was a lie? That means everything that you were thinking was a lie and you were living in a fantasy, an illusion, wearing a mask to deceive. Do you live or truly want to live life? Imagine your life a lie, to live and to die, to find you never knew your true conscious self, but believed what you were told. Didn't feel anything good, stand for anything righteous, didn't care about making any true connection or correction in your life, any true change through hard work or grace from God. See the sun truly rise and see it for its beauty. To see the moon, but not for its ability to cultivate seduction through lies and bewitching and spelling, but to examine the moon for its beauty and how it illuminates from within. And a star. What is the sky without stars? If you don't do your due diligence, you are as if a star that refused to shine. Bright at night, and let it be known. You are here to give, to succeed, to own, to practice your light, maintain that light, to protect that light. Practice your ability to shine with the best glow, the right touch, the right flame, to show your worth and not dim it for no fear, no evil, no sarcasm, no injustice, not for manipulation, not for greed or jealousy or false witness, not for self-righteousness or to gloat, but to show the world you know your worth. And you got the light to prove it. You got the guts, you got the grit, y'all. The will, the heart of a lion. To glow and to defend, to exist and war for your light. To shine and not be dimmed. To be independent. To refuse to allow corruption. To buy, refuse for corruption. To bribe, to extort, to blackmail that light. To refuse to buy you out. To weaken or put out your light. For that is your beauty. And that is why you are so beautiful. Because you are bright. And you have been given and harnessed acquisition of your true birthright. You are regal. You are royal. You are a royal priesthood, a holy nation. And from afar, on a journey to a place called heaven. Thank you for watching. Stand up for your truth and your justice. Assert yourself, build boundaries, and love yourself. Independently think and find the truth in every matter. Thank you for watching. Till next time, soldier up. Peace. We out.